that for the Liberation Day parade, because that's where.
Oh, that's right. It's behind us now.
Yeah, it's behind us, so it was probably a good thing that we did.
Is that going all day long? Do you know?
I'm not sure the exact time, but because I told myself last year I'm gonna go to Liberation Day parade, but I ended up not doing it because something happens or now like this. So plus I have work anyways. I should have considered it, but it's all right. So
Tell me about the day. Tell me about that day, actually, a little bit.
Which one?
Like today, what is that? What is it about?
Oh, you're calling me out on this one? I mean, it was funny because I was talking to my mom about it.
Yeah.
I think it was last night, and it was Liberation Day from Japan. She's like, Japan? Wasn't it Japan? And I was like, yeah, it's from Japan, wasn't it? And I was like, both of us are actually not clear on it. So, it's because my grandma has a Japanese calendar on like the side closet, so it's a red on this day. So we're like, why is it red in this? And I was like, probably because you lost it. Probably because you lost Guam. And she's like, no, it can't be that. It's not Liberation Day today, is it? And it's like, yeah, it is, but it's not for that. But I think it's for like Ocean Day or something. Like you can swim or it's okay. I don't know.
I see.
But for me, God, it's horrible if I don't know this, but yeah, I think it's liberation from Japan's control, and America came and.
I think that's what I picked up too. I thought I might ask a local instead of the Japanese people I have been traveling with, but yeah.
They'll be like, oh no, we didn't really lose it. No,
no.
I'm just kidding.
Even though I think in the culture, I think it would be okay to say, yeah, like, we don't have it anymore.
It's history.
And we probably we shouldn't have claimed it from the beginning. Who knows? I don't know what they think.
Because when we're at Tarzan Falls, wait, what was it?
Oh,
Talofa Falls.
Falls, yes.
Talofa Falls. We're at that little museum.
That was funny.
And then I didn't even know, like, it showed a map of all the, I guess, Oceania islands that were taken over by German. Like, Nazi flag was surrounding, and then just the. Was it American or was it Japanese? It was American, right? Because that's the one
it
that
was,
we took.
Yeah, it was only Guam, right? That was,
I think it was
sort
only
of
Guam.
like American, and the rest was all, I guess, taken by the Nazis back then, or even, Japan and, I guess, Nazi Germany was collaborating on that, so yeah.
Yeah, interesting. It's always good to be humble. Like, you don't know anything.
Yeah,
you should do some history about the place that you live in, and then you could show tourists around. And like, I'm not really a guide. I'm learning with the tourists that I show around. So.
Well, that's how it is. I mean, I had like friends coming. I would say my knowledge about Berlin, where I grew up, wasn't that great, and it literally evolved more as. When I worked as a taxi driver, when I was a student, that was helpful. Actually, by the street names, which was kind of cool. Right. I have a terrible kind of like name, brain. I can't remember names, and I was like, a taxi driver should be best, smartest idea I have. And so sometimes I really, really struggled with something like Manfred from Richthofen, to kind of like trying to remember this name, and like, who the heck is this guy even? And then it's like, that's the Red Baron. Okay, they're all like pilots,
right?
And so you kind of like start learning a little bit about history, looking it up,
why it's called this, why it's called that.
That's right, and like why this area has so much to do with I guess aviation. And so that was kind of cool. And then like friends from then Australia coming to Berlin, you show them around, and so much history there, but it is through tourists, like it's just...
And it just shows how much is lost if it's not taught, and people don't know, kids don't know, but the adults know, but then adults don't care to teach the kids, and then
sometimes you're in the middle of it and you have no idea, and if no one tells you, it won't change for you.
Yeah, well, we can actually go talk back on your history growing up and everything, but let me introduce you. This is Martin Kaufer.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that right?
That's right, yeah.
Kaufer. Yeah, try to bring out the accent if I could mimic it. Kaufer. Like try to force my lungs and throat to like make a sound that I would assume is how you pronounce it.
You did well, yes.
Yeah. And then you were born in Germany.
That's correct, yeah.
And you currently live in Australia.
Yeah, I would say I'm a mad, I guess, I don't know, spirit at the moment. Like, I'm a nomad. So, I don't have a home address. I have, like, let's say all my stuff is stored in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I have some friends that are helping me a lot there with offering me some space. So till I kind of like figured out what is my next step in my life. But yeah, currently nomad is sort of the best description. But yes, like Australia and Japan, sort of like I would say is somehow my home base. That's
right.
correct, yeah.
Okay, and so let's talk a little bit about, I think, growing up. If you, any key points that you would say, it doesn't have to be super detailed, but like, let's say, what's your things that you really remember or shaped you as a kid till like teenager?
Till teenager?
Yeah, because I like to think that kid, teenager is like kind of separate from like adult life, a little bit getting to the more of adult thinking. And
I mean, life changes so often, like even in your adult time, I even think more often, you know, like,
oh yeah, of course,
especially as a kid, you usually a part of a system, which we call, I guess, education system. Yeah, look, I'm born in East Germany. Not that I remember much of it, but my parents both are from East Germany, and obviously then the entire family. And it's kind of like those values that you get taught as well. So I'm like, I have no siblings, but I hope I still was kind of like grown up with the values of caring about others and such. So it's not only me.
okay.
And so I think that's something that I tried always to have in me. But yeah, I grew up in Berlin, even though the rest of the family wasn't there. So usually I was still disconnected actually to the family, only my parents. And yeah, look, their childhood in a big city, but there's kind of like, there was nothing, I think nothing really special.
No close friends that you...
I have, so there's one friend I have from pretty much my first memories. It's kind of funny because I think when we grew up together, I was like, he has two brothers, older brothers, so he was the younger one, and he behaved like that. It was kind of like funny because like he was always the one that was irresponsible, and I was always trying to be rather the, like, I guess, party pooper. That's what he would have called me. And yeah, I don't know, I think when growing up it was always our clear thought that I would be rather kind of like the parent guy, and he definitely not.
Kept people in line or out of trouble.
That's right. And now he has 3 kids, and it's kind of funny, like, and I have none. So we have totally swapped at some stage in life our positions. So it's kind of, it's very interesting in that sense. But yeah, that's kind of like the closest friend, always has been there. And then I left, I mean, Berlin, I left when I was actually 25, so even like far past teenager time. And then I think during teenager time, the only thing that maybe was something that has shaped me was in year 11 and 12. it actually was the first time I was in a school with foreigners, which I think in Berlin especially, we have a pretty big Turkish kind of like culture in there.
Okay.
And you know how it is, like quite often people always have problems, right? Like if other people come, and I would say I've been not grown up with the right mindset back then. And so I was in that school, and I think I was alright. Like I appreciated everyone and respected everyone. But one thing, this one guy, he kept life-threatening me. Like from, I wouldn't say day one, but it came pretty quickly. He loved to control everyone, but somehow it didn't work with me. And so he
saw you as a threat.
So he was like just kept going harder and harder on it, and he came launching at me, and I just sat in a chair, but I was like, just like, yeah man, like, what's up? How you doing? Right. So that was something weird I was not expecting from me. I think I would have been rather explosive in the past, but this particular moment when it was kind of like a little bit heavier situation, I usually stay just like calm, I would say. And so I remember one time we were in this like workshop with all like kind of tools, and then he was like standing there with a saw. I don't know why he was standing with a saw there, and like, you know, already lifted his arm, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you now. And I just said like, you know what, just do it. Like, you bore me since like, you know, like like
calling him out, calling his bluff.
Yeah, I was like, this is ridiculous. Just do it now, or just stop it. Like, you know, it doesn't bring you anywhere. He eventually got kicked off the school because he threatened also a teacher that didn't take it that easy as I did, which is fair, and I was glad. But yeah, that was an interesting time.
Have you heard anything about him? Do you
No.
remember his name? Have you seen his name in the news or anything?
No, actually, I don't even remember his name. That's how little I really cared about this person.
I wonder if you've actually changed his life. He thinks about you. It's like, man, that guy really didn't do anything whenever I egged him on or tried to threaten him. So hopefully you changed for the better.
But funny you're saying changing life. One thing also at this time that really changed my life. There's two teachers in my life that had a big impact. One of them actually that I had from going from year 11 into year 12, so to my last year, was actually my English teacher. That I was terrible. I could not speak. I tried in school, whatever, it didn't work. Nothing worked. And this English teacher during the summer holidays, he offered me to kind of like write him letters, like every 4 days. He said like, you know what, like just write me every 4 day letter, like no matter what, and I will correct it, and then let's see how you go. So it's 6 weeks, and so I wrote plenty of letters. So the first one I wrote, dude, like it was more red than black. Whatever I wrote, like it was plenty, and I was like trying to read every time through it, right? Trying to apply those. I love numbers, so for me, I thought it was like a logical thing, right? Like I just can apply. Like I just have to find the key for it, the secret key that I can apply it to everything.
Right.
And it seemed that even after 6 weeks, I did not find that. It was still more red than black. And I remember he came to me and he was like, it was an interesting time. So in school, we were actually called by our surname from year 11 on. And so he was like, oh, Mr. Kaufer, look, I had a look into your other marks and it all looks good for the last year, but man, like English, that will never happen with you. And I was like, I agree. He was just honest. He said, you in English, it will never happen. And it stuck in my head. When I finished university, I got this international degree. Luckily, I didn't have to apply English for that. But that was something that moved me into like going to Australia then after university. Yeah. So he was a big impact with his honesty.
It's really nice that a teacher actually goes out of their way to teach. And sometimes you don't get that with a lot of teachers. Sometimes it's like, oh, this kid's no good, just fail them and then move on to the next class.
No, he cared.
Yeah. Because I try to wonder how much childhood shapes someone's life, teenager shapes their life. Of course, adult life, you change so much. I've changed so much in the past 3, 4, 5 years that like teenager me wouldn't really recognize the pathway then like 25 to 26, 27 is different, 28, 29 is different, 30, 31 is different. Like this year, I'm completely different from last year.
Yeah.
The way I'm acting, the way I do things. So for me, like when I was listening to you about being a teenager, I don't know if I'm similar at all, but I had friends, but then I wasn't very much, I only had a few select close friends, but then I still felt alone in a sense because I wasn't always hanging out with certain people. I was usually on summer breaks, I was away, so I was never hanging out with the friends I made at school. Never really got that close during summer breaks and Christmas breaks and all that stuff. So, but yeah, it's just interesting to see where someone goes from being raised, what kind of family, to people that are around them, schoolmates or colleagues, and then of course adult life. So what made you go to Australia? Like what was the calling there?
That was literally like the English part. So I was kind of lucky. I'm a silly goose sometimes. So I just make jokes. I guess I think they're funny, and then other people don't think so. But anyhow, in university, we had a prof, and so it was about, what is it called? Process engineering. And we were talking about renewable energy, and he talked about what kind of solar power plants are out there, like thermal solar, which is different to what probably most of us know with photovoltaic. So the thermal part is very different. Anyhow, someone asked in this group of like, hey, is there any possibility to actually see those kind of power plants?
Right.
And the prof was like, oh, well, not really. There's a bunch of them in Australia. And then I was kind of like, well, I guess we should just go there. And this guy actually, I was like, not thinking. I just said it. And then he was like, oh, well, you know what? We're a pretty small group. So by then we were only 4 students kind of left. And he was like, well, we could apply for some funds, and actually, yeah, we could maybe go.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we ended up, kind of like going there. It ended up actually that it was only me. All the other students pulled out. I think another reason also why I ended up going was, so this professor asked me to write my thesis within sort of like his work environment. So it's a common thing in Germany. I'm not sure how it is here, but when we study, we have to kind of like finish up with a thesis.
Okay.
And
I'm the wrong person to ask because I never went to college.
Yeah. But like I know that let's say in Australia, for example, it's quite different. So therefore there was a thing, and then he was kind of like, oh, I have this like guy in Sydney. The guy in Sydney was writing his doctor thesis, but his engineering mind wasn't as great. So he was like, yeah, you can help him with this kind of part. So. And that's how I started going to Australia. I liked it, and I had to write my thesis in German.
Okay.
So like I wasn't really in Australia, I feel like, on the beginning. But it was interesting. Like my brain just changed, and I was like, "Holy smoke!" Like English starts to make sense. I'm like, "This is the right environment. This is outside of school. Like I acknowledge I cannot speak English, but when I was there, I had to somehow communicate, and I probably said a lot of silly things back then that I had no idea of, and it was good. It was a very good experience. And then after university, already before, I made my mind up, and I was like, "Oh, let's go to Australia and learn English."
It's like putting yourself in the environment forces you to learn. That's like how I think about if I were to move to Japan, because I want to learn Japanese, I want to be fluent. So moving to Japan sounds like a good idea. I have some family there, Tokyo and Okinawa. It's like I should be able to do that. And if I fail, come back to Guam. I have family here that could take care of me. So
Yeah, that's
I
right.
really like to.
So there was always, yeah, that's right. There's always this like part where you can go back, right? So like it's not a big, actually, if you really think about it, it's not a big risk nowadays. Like you can go anywhere, and we do have quite often like safety measurements in the back, and then we still don't take the risk. Like
Yeah.
so many people don't take that risk to just go out and leave, at least for what you have right now, just behind. And if you got there once, you can get there again. Like, you know, like go back and just build up the life you used to have. If you then found out that's the life you want to be in, or you actually start thinking differently. And I think I loved it. It was one of the best things. And I'm very, very happy that my English teacher was honest to me and told me exactly this, because that was my motivational thing. I was like, I should go, and like, I'm pretty sure I start learning swimming when I'm like thrown into the deep end, right?
Yeah.
So like it is, yeah, and it worked.
It's
It was
pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've told myself how many years to go to Japan, but I still haven't done it. So soon, maybe one day, I really want to establish myself with my work. So if I can make sure I'm confident with working online and my laptop, I can go to Japan, still do clients or work for clients on Guam, and then make new clients either in Japan or anywhere in the world. I'd be a lot happier and feel safer. But I think sometimes you just gotta, like you said, throw yourself in the deep end and just learn to swim, or else you'll die. So,
Yeah, well,
and if not, hey, call out for a lifesaver and then go back to Guam.
but that's the thing, right? Like even death itself, quite
That's wild.
good to learn, because you're not actually dying, right? But like it's like, what kills you? What is the thing that kills you?
Yeah.
To be able to learn this, I think that's also a very valuable lesson for sure.
Would you mind holding it?
I can hold it.
I'm asking you so much. One day I'll have everything set up where I can simply just hit record and everything.
Would be good to have those bottle sort of, I guess, what is it? Like a like on top of your lid, some sort of like connectors. I think I've seen something there, like with a MagSafe connector, stuff
Cheers.
like that. Cheers, sir.
To attempting to record and for good volleyball.
Yes.
Onto the hot. Oh wait.
Well, actually, I mentioned influence of teachers, and you just said volleyball. This is actually my second teacher that I mentioned. I started playing volleyball when I was 10.
Okay.
And so very early. And it was okay. Like, was very successful. I think I was lucky that I started in a very good club. It was hard work. And it's kind of like you grow up with a mindset of like war. Every game is war.
Yeah.
And so kind of obvious that you can't, like when I So I stopped playing. I think I was only 14, 15 or whatever. So, like some people say, that's nothing. But in my mind, this was already so deep in, I could not play for a different team in my head, because how can you...
camaraderie and brotherhood.
Exactly.
This is your team.
How can you go for now a different team, different country or whatever, it's sort of in your mind. So giving up was the, I guess, easiest sort of thing for me. And
it's not cheating if you're not playing for anybody.
That's right. And so I had a teacher, we always had, I think it was twice a week, after school time, he opened up the gym and we were playing volleyball with ex-students of the school or current students of the school. It was just a bunch of people. It was fun. It was a hobby, right? Mm-hmm. And I felt pretty close to this guy, and I remember at some stage he was like, he took me to his side, like maybe a year in, and he was like, you know what, Martin, like I can't watch you anymore. Like I can't see, like you love playing volleyball with us. You're good, but you're not in a club. You're not doing anything. It feels like a big waste. And so he gave me a hard time, and he kind of pushed me into, like I don't want to disappoint this man. And I was like, man, okay, I go to a club and I will try to do very awful. My goal was to go to a training session just to please everyone. And I tried to be incapable of digging the ball straight. And so it went everywhere, and then I went into the roof. I missed everything. And my teammates, some of them went to the same school, so they already knew how I'm playing. They're like, what the heck are you doing there? And anyhow, this coach was like, Martin, come to me. I was like 15 minutes in, I think. And he was like, you know what? I can see some sort of like ball control there, and like it's not that bad, and you big guy. I think we can work with this. And I'm like, you kidding me? You kidding me? I really tried my worst. And I kind of like, I told him, I'm like, look, I might try to fool you here. Because I don't really thought I wanted, but it is actually fun. I'm kind of enjoying being here right now. So let's give it a proper go. And literally after this little sit down with him, I changed and I started playing properly. And then I was kind of like reconnected to the sport, and I had a very interesting pathway within that sport, which I'm very proud of, and very happy.
Yeah, it's it wasn't kind of like he was. Do you think he knew, or do you think he was just thinking he was really wanting to help you? But
no, he knew.
You knew, right?
He knew.
Like you can go either way. You could tell this guy, or you could tell the student, you're not really you're not cut out for volleyball. Sorry, and then you prove yourself, and then he gets what he wants, kind of thing.
It was funny. Like even in school, usually like the teacher is giving you marks, and it's like. So we had volleyball in school, and you're like, how are you supposed to, like, give everyone a mark and like provide everyone with like the same environment? And so he actually got me to teach all my other classmates volleyball, and to even like put them through certain tests. He knew. If he already put me in charge with this, he knew. But I would have never thought of where it takes me or brings me to. And I mean, that's to be honest, that's the reason why I'm here. Like, I'm in Guam because of volleyball.
Right.
So, and now we're sitting here.
So, at what point did you become not playing? Like, I assume, were you playing indoors?
Yes,
Right? So
I'm
that was indoor
yeah.
first, and then what brought you to beach?
So in Germany, I occasionally played beach volleyball. Very little. Usually, I try to stay away from the sport during the summer. Just simply, I don't know. I did it. I think I did it one summer that I was engaging into beach volleyball, and then the indoor season started, which my focus was on, and I was not hungry, and I kind of was like, no, it's too much. Like, I want to be hungry, right? So, therefore, I ended up, never really touched the ball during the summer, and then it was Australia. Australia was for me the changing bit, where I was like, you know what, like, why wouldn't I go to those beaches? I want to be there. Right, and so it was actually it also was for me the first contacts into volleyball in Australia. I went to Coogee Beach on my second day. I think it was the Easter weekend in 2012.
Okay.
And Coogee Beach in Sydney. And yeah, like, it was the first time I met people. I just went there, played pickup games, and it was fun, and that's how I met people.
Okay, yeah, it sounds, because like with me, it was always indoor, and there's beach volleyball every so often when I was growing up, but it was never a big thing to me. Indoor seemed more fun. I wish I had better grades in high school because I wasn't able to play in high school, but only freshman. But after high school, there was tournaments. I was joining with the club that I was in. And I was getting okay, but it was never consistent. So I was never getting better consistently. And pick up games every week indoors, but then I would join the national team, do the training, the gym, everything. It was actually getting me a lot more healthy and more fit. Wasn't chosen to go represent certain times, and then I would still want to be part of the team, but then sometimes our clubs on Guam, the volleyball clubs, they're not consistent as well. We don't have an official gym. We don't have official times. Sometimes the coaches are also coaching for other things, and they have other jobs, so they can't always prioritize the team and the players coaching them. So it really puts you to train yourself and train with each other, but if you don't have a gym as well, it's like, how are you going to do that? So at some point, I just moved to beach volleyball because at least with beach volleyball, there could be a coach, and it doesn't take as much people. It doesn't take a gym because it's literally free. You just go to the beach and set up a net. So that was the more training again, and then I stuck with beach volleyball for a couple years. I think it was before COVID. Around that time is when, just a couple of years before that was indoor, and then before COVID it was beach volleyball, and then now just continuing. I know I've improved a lot, but it's sad that Guam doesn't have a consistent. It's getting better. Indoor is getting better. There's a lot more clubs. We got gyms. We got mayors that we can talk to, and they provide us gyms sometimes to wherever that's at. But I just wish it was a lot better when I was growing up. Maybe it was. I just wasn't aware of it, but at least now I'm trying to make up for it and trying to do the best I can.
Is that sort of the hardest bit to, like, here on Guam, to get gym times? Or is that like how you can be supported the most?
I think for indoor especially, yeah, just having a gym that you can consistently go to was, at least when I was in the national team, we had certain gyms, but it was never a consistent gym. And we always moved from different school gyms to a recreational gym to back and forth. So it's not great, but you take what you can get.
Of course. Yeah.
But then also, I think the more important one is the coaches. Like the coaches are coaches for high school, so when it's regular high school season for coaches to teach their students volleyball, can't necessarily coach us, the adults. So that takes priority. That's their job. No one's getting paid to play volleyball in Guam. No one gets paid to go represent Guam. So you have to take it out of your own time and day. I don't know. I'm sure that's how other places are, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know how we can work on sponsorships too and things like that. But that's what, in terms of what I see. I'm sure it might be different, but from my experience, that's what I experienced with beach volleyball, especially. Yeah. So sometimes it's just me and my partner, or a couple of us. Hey, let's go to the beach. Let's practice without the coach because he's busy, and then
I think that's probably what most beach volleyball players would say that come from a indoor volleyball environment is you're on your own. You have to organize your own stuff. It's no one else is doing that for you anymore. You kind of don't have like a managed environment that you are inside.
You are independent contractors now.
Yes, that's right.
You are mercenaries hiring for your country or wherever you are.
Yeah. And you have to even go that low that you have to clean your own toilet for that. No, but you're on your own, and I think that's a very important mindset as well that you need as a player. I think some players that can't be like that, they're not made for beach volleyball either. Not really. But that's what I see with working with juniors is we're trying to give them this environment of everything is managed, and we're trying to create those programs. And it's kind of a bummer to see the kids, they lean into, which is great. Of course, we're trying to provide this, but one thing that quite often then I don't see at those kids is like, if this particular environment that we have created for you guys, I don't think you're going out there on your own, but you have to. They have to learn. So the question is like, how can you teach that? And I think that's even like one of the things why what I'm kind of doing at the moment. So I realized in Australia, working with juniors and all that stuff, like I just mentioned programs, right? They all want to be a part of it. They all want to reach national team. Well, not everyone can. And honestly, that's what I found. It's so hard even on the coaches. You make it, you are, I guess, requested to make a choice. It's your job to make a choice of who comes into the program, who is entering the national team environment. But I guess what a coach is not really thinking about, maybe they do, and if so, again, it just makes it bloody hard. Usually the kids that aren't selected, they just stop playing.
So right now with our current national men's team, we have let's say 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 coaches, but they're all on rotation because of work and different schedules. But even then, sometimes nobody can make it. But then something that they had to make a choice recently was who goes to represent Guam in the Pacific mini games. So it's all like Oceania. I think Australia was probably also part of that too. I'm not sure. But they had to choose who's the best ones to represent Guam. And so among them, they chose a skilled older guy and then a skilled younger guy. So both can move, both can hit. I think they got pretty far, or they won a couple games, but they ended up not winning, of course, gold or anything. And then for us that weren't chosen, we're told, don't stop coming to practice, stop training, because we might choose you for the Korea tournament or the China tournament, like this is just for the once a year big tournament that hopefully we represent Guam. So in my mind, hopefully I'm chosen to be representing in a Korean tournament or whatever, the Futures, I think is what it's called. So we'll see. But it all depends on who we're partnered up with, because if we're not consistently playing with somebody, it's going to be a lot harder because we don't know our chemistry, we don't know how we're going to work together. So
I'm kind of glad you're saying that, because it's exactly what I always see there as well. And so what I'm trying currently, or let's say over those like 2 years, that I decided, hey, I want to play beach volleyball full time. I want to. It's a great experience for myself. I love it. I always want to see maybe where is it taking me. But I also learned of how does all this like international stuff. How does that even work? What is going on here? So obviously for me, not living in Germany, but being requested that I have to represent Germany on this like stage, makes it very hard to find a partner as well, right? So I remember, I think it was 2020, 2021. I wrote an email to the German sort of like federation asking them actually how this all works. And doesn't really like it.
That's the one that was stopped earlier.
And so that is hot. Oh wow. Burning myself.
This one, it's a little hot.
Yeah,
but it's okay. That one I think is maybe just needs to be.
Maybe put the resolution down or something. Maybe possibly. That helps. Yeah. So what? I wrote an email to the German Federation asking, is there a chance? Like, do you guys have like an uneven number of German national players? If you guys coming over all the way to Australia, I could fill that, last spot with any uneven number. And so I got a response that was no, sorry, this is a tournament that's only for good players. But Australia has a national tour, and we can provide you a letter that you are allowed to play on those national tour events. And I said oh no, yeah, all cool, thank you very much. You actually providing me that letter since 10 years already. And what I learned the year after was I never had to ask. I never needed the German Federation anymore. So FIVB opened up kind of the rules that it says pretty much everyone has the right to play. And so the next time I wrote the German Federation, I was me and this player are entering for such an event, and they had nothing to say against it. They're just okay, we're registering now. So even for yourself, right? You can play any futures event. Everyone can do this. It is for yourself a little bit of a struggle because you have to enter as an American. And so that might be not necessarily the easiest. I heard that the American side of the Beach Volleyball Federation is not necessarily the easiest to deal with, and you have to pay a fee, and it's kind of odd. That's what I heard. It might get better. Hopefully it does.
I'm not sure. For us, I'm not sure. I think we're separate.
No, I met Lei He's Hawaiian, and he played with, I think his partner was from Guam.
Okay.
And I believe he said to me, like, we have to play for the US. Like, we somehow, Pacific nations, I mean, Hawaii, no excuse, that is an American state. But I think he mentioned something like that even those smaller regions, I think on the AVC, the Asian, I don't even know what it stands for, AVC, Asian Volleyball, not club.
Correspondence.
Yeah, I know Guam there is its own. So I feel like it's kind of like like England. You know, like sometimes England is they representing then like a Scottish team.
Okay.
One time they representing Great Britain, but then sometimes this own country of Scotland. And
how many teams can represent a country?
Well, kind of. There's no limit.
Oh, okay.
So there's no such limit. There's a limitation on the tournament itself that I think it was 2 main draw teams and 2 teams in the qualification per country. But it's only on the future side. The challenger side, which is then the next level up, it's totally different. There's no such thing. Everyone can enter, it's just a point. On the future side, because it's kind of like the entry level into World Tour events, that's where they kind of like put a cap on and try to make it, put some limitations on, so that like teams with 0 points have a possibility to enter.
Right.
Not every tournament, but some tournaments are doable to get in. Myself, my first tournament, my first World Tour tournament was in New Zealand. I've played there many times before, and we entered with 10 international points, which is nothing.
Okay.
Which is literally nothing, and we were main draw. And all my friends from Australia, like, how the heck did you make main draw? You have 10 points. Like, you're almost even in the qualification last. But because it was a very, I would say, homogeneous sort of selection of countries that we're representing, they all were over the limits, like of such and such many teams can go on to main draw, blah, blah, blah. And so we just ended up being this like odd number that even with 0 points, we would have been main draw. And it was kind of like a funny entrance for me into the World Tour events.
Yeah. So how long do you think you're professional? I don't know if professional is the right word for what you do. It's you're most competitive, like you're competitive on beach volleyball.
Well, so professionalism, it's kind of a funny word, I think, in the beach volleyball or volleyball scene almost.
In my mind, you're supposed to be getting paid if you're a professional.
That's right? So professional, to my knowledge, is the definition that you make your income through your profession, so through your sport. I would say I'm running probably a balance of definitely negative every month. So I'm not making any money. It's stuff that I saved up in the past, but look, profession is also a mindset, right?
That's true.
So I would say I have been focusing on the sport for like in this way for like 2 years, roughly. Okay. Only 2 years. I played before again, like, and I've been always competitive. But I have not always put the right effort into.
Right.
I have not put my focus onto it. Sometimes it was like, very often it was a recreational sort of environment that I just enjoyed playing against teams that are, let's say, national team status or have even went to the Olympics. You know, like recreational against this. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy this environment, and I enjoy
The travel,
yeah.
the new cultures, the food, the people.
Yes, and also the trouble. You're on court like against such teams, right? So this is fun. This is interesting, and so, but yeah. So 2 years in, I was never planning to do it for 2 years. It just happened on the end. I think it might be sort of my last year. In regards of the traveling part, like putting the effort in. I mean, I'm already too old for this. Like, I go to those events. I'm usually one of the oldest, if not even the oldest player.
Interesting.
Last year, I played for the very first time. I was able to play on the German championship, which is great, and that was such a good experience. It was unexpected. We had no idea we qualified for it, and that was sick. That was such a sick event, and it was good. But what ended up is I entered as the oldest. I was the oldest athlete on the men's side. We had Laura Ludwig on the women's side that was older than me, but she's also like a 4-time Olympian, gold medalist as well. So, you know, like, I mean, uncomparable. And yeah, and then on top being the, I think, second smallest blocker on the German tour there. I was out of space. Like, I should have not been there, I think. But, you know, that's what happens. Like, none of the things were planned, and but I just put effort in and had a look where it took me. And this is like actually what I was trying to show those young kids of, you know, that aren't selected by the coaches, that aren't selected into a program. I haven't. But I made it. I made my own way. And that's like what I want to show them. Like, hey, don't give up. You just have to be on your own. You can show any coach that, hey, it's okay. You don't select me today. Maybe tomorrow. That's all right. Like, I keep working on myself. And that's what I want, that
if you don't believe in what you're doing, it's not going to happen. If you don't, it's a form of manifestation, but it's like, if you're putting in the work, it's going to show. The fruits are going to show, I think. I got into beach volleyball, and I could have been doing it a lot earlier. Who knows if I would have actually been representing Guam a couple of times now. Hopefully, I would hope that I was. But putting in the effort now and changing my lifestyle to kind of form into beach volleyball is my main workout and social way of meeting people, and then just everything. It's meant to allow me to meet people like you, other people that have come, and I've traveled because of it. Now when I travel, I look for other beach volleyball courts or indoor courts too, just to meet the same-minded people, and that connects me with other people, that connects me with the right people. I think it's all about your mindset, and if you're really going to put 100% into something that you love.
I think that's exactly why I love this sport. So, you know, you talked about professional, because that sport somehow is so unprofessional. It allows you, like, we all, like a big family, you know, like we all help each other out. There are a handful of professionals, especially in the US. I would say I've never seen as many players literally being fully paid in the US, or at least having their profession within the sport, quite often as a coach or something like this. And so I even found that this is it is a different environment. It's not anymore as welcoming. when you come up to this level, there's like, you know, there's, I don't know, it's like a little fighting scene. I've met plenty of Americans. I'm not saying there's still it's still a welcoming side, but you have more rivals.
It's very competitive. I mean, only a certain amount of people can represent the country or whatever in a tournament, and it's only 2 of you. It's not like a huge team that you can all be a part of. It's only 2 people, and when you get down to it. So I'm sure it's very competitive, and it can get fairly toxic if you're with the wrong people and the wrong mindset.
Sure, but you also, in the sport, I think this is a sport, or one of the sports, where you change so often your partners that, like, why picking fights? Because next time this might be your partner, right? We don't need that necessarily. Of course, it's good to learn, and it's good to kind of separate or sometimes put it in place, kind of like, you know, a bit of action and like all the stuff. Of course, if you can drink a beer afterwards together, then that's all cool. Yeah. But it sometimes goes a little bit far. And the question is just, I don't think that sport necessarily needs it. Yeah. But again, if there's something like business involved, different story, right? Money is a driving point or drives people apart. So, and you can see this, I think, where the sport has more money involved. That's usually where, other different obstacles coming in place.
I mean, literally, you use the same term, partner. It's like a partner, you're in a relationship. You have to communicate, you have to find a way to make it work. And if you don't, hopefully you don't end up fighting and then that's it. Because like, you want to actually have a good relationship with anybody, or else it's going to turn toxic in your community, kind of thing. So we have some people on Guam that people don't like for certain reasons, or they do like for certain reasons, but it sucks when it's a whole community is now thinking of that person, and that person can't enjoy volleyball because now they feel like they are not welcome.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
dangerous.
We're always welcome to help each other grow, and if something is wrong with you, or not wrong with you, but what you think is different or wrong, then we try to help. But if you're just too stubborn, then it's not going to work out. And that sucks. But if you can find someone to play with you, then that's great. But I'm never going to not welcome you as long as you're not hurting people. You know, that's all that matters. But yeah, I mean, so we talk about you. So are you trying to be a coach when you're talking about these kids, or at least a advisor?
Yeah, look, I am not necessarily the person that is focusing so hard on it. When people, I have juniors that I am supporting because they ask for it. I'm always supporting. I'm always helping when people ask. So,
like a tutor.
Well, it's also like it shows they want.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's not me that wants. It's not me that want to teach you, or I think you the best player. I want you first to have passion.
Right.
If you can show me that you have the passion, we can work. Absolutely. I'm always there. So do I plan to be a coach? I have done some coaching. I have done some, like, even mental coaching in indoor, back in Germany, for a first league team. I enjoy it. I'm not always in that environment. I do enjoy also, like in Japan, I do it quite a bit. Like, at least helping on the clinics and like all this stuff. It's fun.
Right.
So it's a very enjoyable sort of like environment I see myself in. Maybe in the future it will be more. Maybe it will be some sort of job. I can support. I certainly believe that I have that some sort of knowledge to have a good start with it. That would be good, or that I can imply. But I'm not sure if it will be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, what I notice right now is what we're doing with beach volleyball on Guam is, as you can see, we've built quite a few courts here that are permanent. We leave them here, and it's going to stay like this until either the government wants to remove it. So these even little nets that Pasha, the Russian guy, that you know, he's been very much putting his own money into this beach volleyball community. So I think the great thing is,
it's Pasha and his wife, huh?
Yeah.
And
amongst other people like Jimmy, he's like building these tables, all the ones that painted blue.
Yeah.
People bringing in tables and tents. I think building it is one thing, because like we had with the indoor national, it's like we had to go from gym to gym because we didn't have a consistent place. Here, every single day you can come here and practice. You don't need to find a place. You don't need to bring your own net. Kids can come here and play whenever they want. We do ask them to hopefully clean up a little bit and break up the court so the next people can come and it's a lot more enjoyable. But
I can see how Pasha was asking that question.
Yeah, he's very strict.
He's very strict.
We need someone to be strict, and we need the others to be more motherly and welcoming, and so it's okay. Yeah, but he's providing that space for them. I think
he's doing well. Holy smoke! Do you see those bombers?
Oh, yeah.
Wow! This is
the parade. Must have been very nice to see this time. I don't know how often we get stuff like this.
They are huge.
I don't know if you saw before, but there was a number of transport planes that were going to the base.
Yes, I saw that. But like this, the wingspan, and they're so thin though. Interesting. I think this, talking of Pasha, and the strictness, of course, that's one thing that is helpful, I guess, in this environment here. Also quite dangerous. It's a different culture he brings in, for sure.
That's true.
It's a culture that I grew up into, so I totally understand it. But it also needs, I hope, other people that will support him in the way of, hey, he's correct. We have to do this, and not letting people the excuses, giving them space with the excuses. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think the tournament, for example, where people rocking up too late, like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And where it's like, hey, this is a tournament. We want to create a space where we actually we can challenge ourselves, we can challenge each other. We want to have this environment because we want to have the players in the future in this challenging environment, and we want to prepare them for them. So we all need to pull on the same side here. And this is something that I realized this weekend maybe wasn't as great. Pasha certainly has it in him, but it's hard, right? How do you run a tournament and everyone is kind of, I might be 5 minutes later.
Yeah. Someone like Kendra, who is, Kendra and Dave are the ones, I think, mainly running it.
That's right.
So you have, Kendra's very nice. She's very people-pleasing, but she can also be strict. But she's also willing to try to move things around so people can play and people are working, or they haven't showed up yet, so let's put these people to play, and then the people show up and say, okay, now you guys can play. So another tournament, they would have just been disqualified.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have people like Kendra to be nice and make it work for everybody. But it's also, yes, I think we do need that discipline and making sure people understand, this is not just a Sunday where you can come in and play whenever you want. It's it's competition, and you want people to treat it as such. Same thing as how we have this right here. We have trash on the beach. So if people see that there's a trash can that's very well kept and it's full, or you see trash cans, they'll use it. But if they see a trash can that's full and there's just trash on the side of it, people are gonna put trash on the side, right? It's how you it's how you see something.
Yeah.
It's how you treat it. So if you see a volleyball court or you see a tournament that people, it's late, it's okay, then other people are gonna treat it that way. And then the people don't learn.
That's exactly what I'm thinking too. Like in most sports and in our sport, we have a card system already in place, right? We have a yellow, red card. I mean, they're thinking of even a green card in the future.
I think I've seen that. Where if you're showing good sportsmanship, or you're calling yourself on your iNet, but then the ref didn't call it, then they'll sometimes give you a green card.
Sportsmanship, that's right.
Yeah.
So I just don't know I think it was a trial, and like I don't know where it goes and if it's gonna happen or whatever. But that's something that I believe can be always implemented in those ways, because sometimes we do need a flexible environment. Not everyone can fit in every box, but I think it's also important to still remind them that there is a box somehow.
Yeah.
We're trying to all kind of fit in there. We understand the difficulty, but I think it's important. This is exactly, again, this is for younger people.
Yeah.
For even old, I mean, yeah.
It's
but
great for the old people too, but
to remind, hey, when we're here in this defined space, that's where we can move forward, right? And I think it is sometimes, I think, easier to define than just keep everything loose. I mean, how are you supposed to hold on something if there is no rules in place?
Right.
I'm not a big fan of rules. I'm a more bigger fan of common sense, but also I think it's important for guidance.
I think rules are important. Common sense is needed for most of it, but being able to just enjoy, or people's opinions are always valid, but then you have to make sure that it works for most of society.
Yeah.
Because you can have your own thing and your way of thinking, and if it doesn't really work, you can try it on the side.
Yeah.
Build another little community. That's how communities are started. Different ones. It doesn't work for you, try another one. We have all these nets. You don't want to play with certain people. You have another net over there, another net over there. So, in other beaches, we don't have this kind of thing. We've made this one home base. I'm sure you can set up a net at another beach if you really don't like this community. But I think it's a good mixture of discipline and openness. I think we have a good thing going. I like rules, but I also hey, it's not that big a deal. It's a Sunday. It's not a tournament day.
Yeah.
Let's calm down.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I know you said that you're not necessarily thinking about being a coach, but you're open to teach and stuff like that. Is there actually something that you're thinking about for your future? Is there a future goal that you have not had yet, or do you even know of what you're reaching for, or are you just going with the flow with life and nomad kind of mentality?
The mad nomad. There's certain events I would love to be a part of.
Okay.
Experience.
Specifically volleyball, or is
volleyball? Yes.
Okay.
Me as a player, I would. There are certain things that I would love to see coming through.
Experience as a player, aside from being like a coach or participant.
That's right. Yeah. So as a player, so one of the tournaments that I always want to play, God knows why, but Vancouver Open. I for some time now had that in mind. This year I gave up on that idea to rather support the goals of my German beach partner, which we are not playing together anymore, which is quite unfortunate. We just couldn't put the efforts into the right space to support that partnership. for a longer time, which is okay. It's two individuals, right? Not always fitting together. You can try. But yeah, so unfortunately, I didn't play. I think it was just a week ago. So I would have loved to go there. So we'll see. Maybe there's like something I do next year. But there are a few things. I don't know how if I'm going to be in this capable space in the future. I would love to improve certain events. I would love to be a part of it. I see it in Japan quite often where I'm like, wow, we kind of like, I think that we're doing somehow the right things. I think there is something there, but I think we're not using yet the right tools, right? So, so I wanna kind of like pick up on this, create more atmosphere. Hopefully something that is more sustainable, going back to the heydays, instead of stagnating and potentially becoming boring or dying out. So I hope that doing something good for the sport, if it is, in Japan, Australia, New Zealand, God knows where, I love to be able to support, and I hope I can find my space in there eventually, maybe only occasionally, which happened already in the past. And I think in those countries, Japan maybe not yet, but I think Australia and New Zealand, I think they're appreciating my inputs as such. And so that is good. And
start a little Kaufer's quality little side business where you go in and advise and help out with.
Yeah, maybe instead of like doing what is it called? Advisory. Not only engineering advisory, maybe some party advisory.
Yeah,
because I would love to see it this way. Like I enjoy atmosphere, right? And so, but I also, as you put it very right, like I am open to the coaching parts, right? And again, like I do it already. I think most people don't know me. They see me as like I'm just a fun guy, and that's okay. I am currently, this is something I wanna live, this side of myself.
It's better than not being liked and being seen as like just a crazy or too much kind of guy.
Yeah, but like we talked about Pasha before, and like that's something I have been probably rather being probably not even too long ago, and so like. As we kind of like talked in the very beginning, I think as adults, we're evolving or changing far more often as we do in being kids sometimes, right? Not for everyone, but for myself, I certainly do and did. I love to challenge myself with my own habits or thoughts.
Right.
So that's good. It's good fun.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I mentioned to you before, it's like so much has changed with me. And one of the reasons why I'm trying to do this podcast stuff is trying to bring people's perspectives and passions to life and see how it would encourage other people's passions and see what they would use this information make better with their life or change up their life entirely. So I'm pretty much with you. It seems like you really want to help volleyball in general, especially the youth, make sure that they have a good environment to be participating in. It's competition's always good, but if it's so much aggression in competition and the kids see that, maybe they don't want to be part of that because maybe too much. Like they see people yelling or screaming and they see fights among partners. Like maybe they don't want, but who knows? Maybe that is actually something that they are interested in. People like different things, so
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not putting Pasha, not saying that he's all discipline and all like hardship, but yeah, he's very fun guy sometimes, and he's very supportive.
And he is different, and I enjoy, again, like I think you just put it right there. Like this is what potentially attracts some other people, and we have other kind of people too that attract other people. So it is good to be already very, I think, multicultural. Not only where you're really from, like actually in a way how your body language and everything speaks, So yeah, it's very important, and I think it's more just another beautiful airplane coming past. My goodness, you guys
different.
having some crazy stuff here.
I'm not even sure what that would even be.
You know what it is on the top?
I would assume that's like a satellite or some sort of
It is
receiver.
an antenna. Yes, that's correct. It's just for combat environments that they all can communicate. Yeah. So I didn't know, but I had some players coming up to me. Zach Stewart, for example, for one of the top Australian players, like he said to me, like he saw me probably one of my first years on the beach, but he was like, just the energy like I brought on the beach was for him so attractive that he really wanted to be like, he said he wanted to be more involved in the sport, and like
it's just more fun when you have people like you making it look fun. It's like you're having a good time. You're doing sky balls.
Yeah, nowadays
people, it's like, hey, it's fun. Like you don't have to take it so seriously. Even though you probably do sky balls when you're winning, but you have a decent lead. But yeah, it's just having that mentality, showing people it's a fun time. It's good. The God, what was I gonna say? Saki.
Yes.
Taller,
yeah.
So what I've noticed with him throughout the years, he brings like his younger people coming here, and he is like a mentor to them. He brings them for tournaments and plays with them, and it's very fun when all the Palau people come and play against us. And I see that probably for you too. It's like you're bringing people that people connect with you and they want to follow you. It's like, hey, let's go play in Guam. Let's go play in Japan. Let's go play in Germany or something like that. So
yeah. And I have done that actually. Not my most recent partnership, but before, I have done that where I had belief in those young players and really try to push, create the environment that might be missing or was missing to pursue this level, and just open it up. And it was great. Like it was great for myself. So I'm not only providing, I'm also learning through this. But I do enjoy where it took those players in their future, or where it's even like taking them in the future. But yeah.
I think it's
Saki's
nice.
doing it better. Saki is, it was good seeing him actually on the weekend like that. I just met him. But yeah, I enjoy. He seems to have exactly that. A nice, cool environment set up where he goes into a mentor, but also, works on the court with them.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And he's always smiling. I don't think I've ever seen him mad.
I have seen him not smiling when he played against us.
Oh, maybe. Give him good reason to be a little bit upset with himself or something. I don't know. But
I think he's competitive.
Oh,
he is. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He's always trying to teach his young disciples. I'm not sure what they are to him, but yeah. Well, is there anything you think you can give Guam as advice for our volleyball in general? Maybe even our tournaments or our setups?
Tough one. I would say I have not experienced enough to give deep advice. One thing in the, like, especially when I played in Australia, and I have, like, when we in indoor, it happened more that we played against, let's say, like, islander teams, made from Fiji, Philippines, and so on. Usually what happened is they physically very strong.
Right.
Right? But the work together as a team is so much more important. And exactly what we saw here in this tournament of, like, not taking it too serious with the time, not coming. The thing is, you have one partner coming up and the other is not there. And the question is, like, what, I don't know how it's being received. You know, in my perspective, it's like, I would perceive it as a, like, very disrespectful way of, like, putting the right efforts in.
Right.
And so if you start doing this in your own environment already, how are you supposed to go to a tournament and then it's there? So I kind of like the lifestyle. It's beautiful, and it works, right? You have to make a lot of things work, because everyone has their own sort of, like, a pathway and schedule. But if I could see people putting their schedule together, you know, like their goals together, I believe their partnerships could be much stronger, and that would reflect into the training sessions, and the competitiveness would, I think, grow quite a bit, because, again, like, physically there's a lot of there, right? Putting it together, it's something that is challenging, and that's where, you know, like, I think it's hard these days, because one thing that doesn't happen often is honesty. Saying to someone, you are shit. This is shit. Yeah. We are not allowed to say those things anymore, right?
Yeah, people are very sensitive, and especially with Guam, it's very small, so everyone knows each other.
That's
Everyone's
right.
in the same boat, so
and you want to be inviting, right?
You want to be nice. You all want to be together.
Yeah.
And something about the being late, it's a very common thing on Guam. It's called tomorrow time. That's the local time.
Look, again, like,
it takes a little bit long. You say 10 o'clock, it's 10:30. It's very sad. It's very, Guam is too laid back.
It's not a Guam problem. This is not a Guam problem. This is, I think it's a very common problem. So you guys are, like, this is not only here, this case.
I'm sure. From what I experienced, it's like, it's a very chill place. Guam is a very relaxing, it's a paradise. You come here for vacation to relax.
Yeah.
And you have the beaches and you have the ocean. Sometimes people just take that for that whole lifestyle. It's very laid back. They don't put in that much effort, or it's okay, I can be a little bit late. It's okay because nothing's gonna really happen. That's a lot of mindsets, I think, on Guam, which is unfortunate. This is why I'm trying to change. I'm breaking that habit. When I was late, I actually didn't think I was late. I woke up early. I was having my breakfast. I was good. I was leaving, but I was like, "Oh shoot, I should hurry up." When I'm driving over here, I was like, "Oh," and then James called me. I said, "Yeah, where you at? The game before us just ended." I was like, I'm at the stoplight." I was like, "Oh shoot." So.
Yeah. Things like this happen, but, you know, like, it's again, like, it starts all with the mindset, because it's something you can control.
Yeah.
You can control. Everyone can control. Do you know how to control it? Maybe not yet.
Yeah.
But that's something where I think, look, nowadays we're not running into hardships anymore. Right?
Yeah.
We're not getting really, like,
we don't have at least here, we don't have war. We don't have something that's really pushing us to be disciplined, to be on time, to be worried.
Like we don't need war straight away for some hardship. But yes, I think it's a way of communicating. It's a way of being challenged. And I think that's like someone like Pasha, I guess, he grew up this way. For him, it's just natural.
Yeah.
Right? But again, if people can support this a little bit in that way of like, he maybe doesn't mean it like nasty. But you know what? And that's like what I said yesterday. It internally pisses him off. You can't say, oh, he doesn't mean it. He's a nice guy. No, he is a nice guy, but he's also honest.
Well, yeah, what he's doing is he's trying to teach you, but
teach you to take things serious.
His approach of teaching, he wants to help you. He's trying to help you.
No matter what you do.
You, but he's a little bit more intense than other people would, and he's not going to sugarcoat it.
Because he is saying, no matter what you do, take it serious. And if you rake that court, it's not the raking part.
No.
It's to prevent it's a sustainable part of keeping those courts alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a respectful part for whoever plays after you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a preparational part that everyone has the same environment over and over and over again. Mm. And for him to say, we have to rake it into the court, like this is...
It's not just raking.
And he doesn't want to say it every day, right? Like he wants that you learn to think about, what am I actually doing here?
Mm.
You talk just raking, and most people would just rake that thing in a non-thinking way.
Yeah.
But this is exactly where the problem then starts. It's like, no matter what you do it mindful. Ask yourself, why are you doing this? Not with an excuse, oh, I don't need to do it. But how can I improve those kind of like little things? And that's something I would give everyone as an advice.
Yeah. And just also thinking about it, who knows if Pasha even considers this, but when you rake it and you learn that you're raking from outside in, what does that tell you? That there's a lot of sand that's being kicked out from the middle towards the outside, right? Because you're raking it in and you're trying to flatten it. So that if people don't, like, I would never really think about it if I'm doing it, but when you really think about it in a professional sense, when you're trying to put in that professional mindset, okay, why is that? Well, a lot of things happen in the middle. So maybe you start thinking about that. Obviously, it's good to aim for the sides, aim for the tape when you're hitting. It's a lot harder to do that.
Mm.
But it shows that that's where all the action is. So it's natural for someone to be in the middle. So push your sets, push your bumps, push your hits to the sides because no one's there. It's like, probably not even in his mindset of doing that, but it makes you think of, if you're taking everything seriously and you're really looking into everything you're doing, maybe you come up with something and maybe it teaches you something a little bit.
Yeah.
But
good perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good things to think about with you. Hopefully someone realizes like what your story and what your mindset is with people and volleyball, and maybe take that into their own thing that's not volleyball. It takes into their work and their hobbies, and hopefully it gives them that inspiration and sparking their passion for what they want to do with life and take it seriously. I think that's really what came down to this conversation and this talk was you took things seriously and things starting to happen for you. I think in maybe being a little bit more, not conceited, but was it greedy? If you focus on yourself wanting to go to the, the Vancouver
Open.
So if you focus a little bit more on that instead of providing for your partner that you want to make good with, hopefully you can get something that you want now. But of course you're a very nice person, I assume, so you wanted to help your partner too. But
sure, yeah.
So.
With like talking about the seriousness, like I think one thing you also have to consider is, and I think that's like, you said like take into your life. Absolutely. Like this is important. But what is also important, and this is like what I probably reflect currently far more on the court, is to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy putting that effort in. Like if you cannot enjoy what you have put into, let's say, training, and you're going out there, and I have seen, like in Japan, for example, right? Like lately, I've seen players that like I watch them training, and it's good stuff they do, but they cannot smile after they win. I have to say, man, like something is wrong, because that's a dangerous place. If you have to enjoy no matter what it is, and of course, like it's always hard because like seriousness and enjoyment, it is just something that bites the ass, right?
Yeah.
So it's not an easy environment. Like even I hate playing against friends, just simply because like on one side I want to take that game serious. You know, like I want to respect them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to provide even a competitive game. I also don't want to destroy them. And I also want to enjoy being there. Like let's say do Skyball, which I do every game. But
delicate balance.
You know, you don't want to take the shit out of them. You don't want to lose them as friends. Like you want, and I found it's such a hard balance. I got better lately into it, of like, you know, like enjoying together with them. Right. I don't want to take the shit out of them. Not at all. I never think that way. I always respect every player, but that's something that I have to say is also very important. If you put this seriousness in there, you also have to learn to enjoy.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose the thing that made you happy when you first started. Because now you just don't enjoy it because you're too serious. You're always mad. Yeah. Something that really, I think, was one of the causes of our 2 losses yesterday in the final day was because before my partner and I were having fun. Yeah. We were there. We were early. We were warming up. We were doing things good. We're enjoying ourselves. But on the last day, I think my partner was very serious and he was a little bit angry. And I can hear it. And he told me, and he didn't tell me, but I can feel it and I can see him. And the way he cusses a little bit, it's like I could see it. And he wasn't looking at me anymore. Yeah. He was looking around.
I saw that too. Yeah.
I would pull him to the side, like, hey, look at me. I'm your partner, not focus on me. We're supposed to have fun. These guys aren't that hard to beat. I know that, but still, it's like we've beat other people that you were scared of. I'm trying to tell him this, and I think if the mindset, the chemistry was off, and then we were too serious, and then maybe what we did was because of that, like little bad passes, little things that we did. I think it's just being happy, enjoying ourselves. Take it seriously, but if you're angry playing, I don't think that's a good mindset.
What have you tried in that situation yesterday to make it better? So you said, like, look at me.
I use a timeout. I didn't talk to him about it. Usually I say, hey, do you need a timeout and stuff. This time, especially, he got hit in the head and the glasses flew off. Yeah. So, okay.
I think it happened twice yesterday to him.
Call the timeout. Let's cool ourselves. For me, I was telling him, this is cool off myself as well, but I feel like I want you to cool off because I think that you're a little bit agitated. And I just trying to get him to focus on me. But one of the things that we try to do too as a ritual that I just started was getting sandy, because we're all clean, and then it kind of, mindset, like we don't want to get dirty and die.
That's right, yeah.
So I throw sand on him, I throw sand on me, and it's a little thing going back and forth. And something else that I do is if we miss a serve, and then like I tell him, it's like, you miss one more, you're buying me a pina colada. And then he's like, he enjoys it. He's like, down, okay. And then I miss one first, and then I was like, okay, I'll buy a pina colada because I missed it first. Stuff like that. But yesterday is like, it was tough to get him to cool off and just calm down. I was like trying to, whenever he was serving, after we got a point, I didn't want him to rush into it, so I turned around and be like, just a little bit, and then I turned around because I didn't want him to think that I was always looking at him to be pressure. So I turned around, showing him my back, telling him, I trust you. Like, this is me trusting you. I trust in what you're gonna do. I just did a little quick thing to take your time, but that's only so much I could do when we're trying to play 15
All right.
points.
My question, have you done the hardest thing? And the hardest thing is honestly very simple. Have you went up to him and honestly apologized to him for your first start into this day?
I think I definitely talked about it during, like, while I was there and while we were warming up, but I don't think I was like coming up to him very much sorry. Yeah, so I didn't.
Yeah. I think that's something that he probably like
held on to a little
and
bit.
just I think it because like he decided it seemed like it was not a team decision you guys did, right? He decided that today is going to be an important day, right? That was maybe happened to him the night before or whatever, but the decision seemed that it was a part of himself. So now you rocking up unknowingly, but you did on the end. You rock up too late, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, well, let's get playing. Like I no warm up and whatever. And your partner stands there already. He's not the person in the rush. No, he's the person waiting, like on the altar, waiting. Is my husband coming or is he not coming? Right? You might be just a person rushing to the church, but he is he has and he has a time to process.
Yeah.
Like you have a goal. He doesn't know if he is in control of his goal because he is not.
That's true.
It's all up to you. And so I think it takes away his seriousness, and to be upset with that this was being taken away from him is something that, like it's hard to overcome. Honestly, like this is like what I'm not saying love doing, but if I do something like this, I think some of my partners know that. I take them in my arm. I apologize. Or if someone feels that way, I give them a hug. I take them in my arm and try to have an honest connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only like this like harsh man environment and just tough them up and like all this stuff. No, like it's a partnership, and that's always hard. Like,
and that's definitely a respect thing.
Yeah, and like maybe something like this was something that could have changed. Maybe not. You never know. But acknowledging your part is not an easy thing, but I think it is an important thing, especially in a partnership of like, hey, I'm aware of my screw up. I want you to know this, and in the future, I'm aware of it. I'm like, let's not get into this again. And and you also have to like, and that's why I said he maybe made this decision on himself. Like for you, it was maybe still just a like, it's a competition, but like it's just a competition. It's like, hey, if we drifting off from a different perspective and of a situation, we need to communicate about this. Like next time we going into this, like let's meet up before, have a phone call, or
this was definitely talking like a real relationship. Like I've had
it
this.
Is,
it is. Like,
I always like, this is the thing, right? Like if I go in a partnership, I let them know straight away. I'm like, hey, this is my perspective of a partnership as a beach volleyball partner.
Mm-hmm.
We are pretty much married. And here's the problem. In beach volleyball, maybe other teams have a different perspective on this or whatever. Do it a different way. But in a real partnership, we have multiple tools. We can communicate, like we can do little gifts. We can do like, we spend time and like all this stuff. And we also can get physical. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful part, right? yeah, it doesn't really work in a beach volleyball environment, right? So I always say like, we don't have the physical part. And I said like, it's not gonna happen. We might sleep in the same bed. It's not gonna happen. Don't touch me, So hugs and everything, of course. But that's why they're also so important. Like, like be there, like give a clap on your shoulder. That's the only part we can do.
Yeah.
We don't want to go deeper into this. Again, some teams might do, I don't know. But
That's the secret to those Olympic champions. They're that close.
Maybe it is. But it is what we have to understand. It is a relationship.
It is, yeah.
And it is something we have to, like, maybe someone is missing, like something missing, right? Like, especially when we're on trips.
There's,
like what's the, come on, like when, you go on a date or whatever, and there's like those questions, what's your language of love?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like even this is something we should know about our beach partner.
Yeah.
How can I reach this guy? What is important to him? Is it only words? Is it the time? Is it maybe a gift? Like something, how I can show to this person, other guy, that I'm aware of you. I see you.
Something that I was very much aware of with my girl was that being there for her was very important. Being able to give her peace and her giving me peace was very nice. So it doesn't matter what was happening, what was around the world, as long as we had each other and we can focus on each other, and then we would be good. Should be probably the same thing with the volleyball, because there's other things that happened. It was wet, sandy ball. The ref wasn't really giving him the best call, and he was the one playing us afterwards. So the second game, we're literally playing against a ref that gave him a bad call. So he was like kind of agitated. He's probably aiming for him to shut him down because how he treated us before. So a lot of these things, that outer world stuff, but we should have just had each other to come back to and like calm each other. But we weren't in that chemistry yet. We didn't have that partnership established. So he's on his own, and then he's against now me because I was late and I didn't show him respect, and he's against the court and the other players and the refs. So everything added to that frustration, but I could have been the one that was better for him, closer to him, calming him down because we have a established relationship, but couldn't give it to them because of how I did and all that stuff. Very much see that, understand that. So goes for both relationships and partnerships in volleyball or in other businesses, I guess.
There's no huge difference. They're all unique in their own way. There's no key. I've failed for sure, multiple times. There's no perfect way, but I think it's a healthy way of seeing the struggles that in a sports partnership, that like it helped me at least to, hey, like this is something that just a normal relationship you're also struggling with and going through, and so I should see it the same, with the same intensive look almost, like
I think that's a good place to end on in this podcast recording. When you going to the buggy, right? The off-roading stuff with John?
Yeah, we
12:30.
12:30, yeah.
I'm gonna get to work at 12, so I'm gonna finish up. I cannot leave this all here like this. I'm gonna clean up a little bit.
Helping you on that for sure.
There's little things here and there, but then most thing is the trash. So
it's all in the right place. It just I guess some of the dogs maybe went a little bit through, and they knew yesterday that there was food that was very yummy, and so I understand them too. So
But thank you, Martin Kaufer.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope to see you again on the court, either on Guam or in some other tournament. maybe I'll go. You'll probably still be in Japan maybe for a little bit?
I am, yeah. Like, I don't know for how long and when, and that's a part of a life as a nomad. But
Yeah.
no, I will be. Yeah. Hit me up for sure.
I'll definitely. I'm going in December, but if I'm ever going before that, I'm going to States, LA in August. So, but yeah, I got you guys' Instagram. I'll put his Instagram in the videos, and yeah, thank you for meeting me.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. Thanks
Thanks
for
for having me.
listening. And yeah, talk next time.